teams out every Sunday. Fire in our eyes, can't stop our drive. Hit so hard, remind you of 85. We the Bears, monsters of the Midway. Knocking teams out every Sunday. Fire in our eyes, can't stop our drive. Hit so hard, remind you of 85.
Say the real Chicago, you can smell it in the air. There's a hungry team called Soldier Field going nuts, jumping out their chair. Teams rather be anywhere but here. We don't care if it's below zero. Let it jump before the snow, we still gon' break those. If we win the point flip, we choosing to kick. Cause we got a defense that love to hit. Polarize the link with our smash mouth D's. Slicing up teams like Mike Singletary. Forever repping the seat, making Papa Bear proud. Giving Chicago something to shout about.
We the Bears, monsters of the Midway.
All right. What is up? Welcome to the Spoiler King. Oh, not Spoiler Kings. Jesus. That's our Monday show, man. This is Panda and Grizzly. I'm all by myself today. Brian's got the night off. Fredo should be joining soon, hopefully. But if not, it's all good. We got some Bears stuff to go over. See how everyone is doing tonight. But we'll jump right into some of the news. We got some official Vegas odds that came out yesterday for the Bears and how they're going to finish in the division, in the NFC North. I don't think Vegas has a lot of trust in the Bears. So for fourth place, it's plus 210. For third place, plus 200. Second place, 300. And first place is 350. So what that means is we'll bring Panda Bear in here. What's up?
It's up.
Just in
After
time.
2 3 yeah, after 2-3 weeks me being hibernating,
Yeah.
working on my Trumpness, redness going on here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. We got to figure
I
that
have the
out.
actual light. Yeah, I have the night light. I just haven't plugged it in because I've been really busy working on house stuff.
Yeah, we get it. That's all good. But yeah, I was just going off over the Vegas odds for the NFC Central, for NFC North. I'm sorry, for the Bears and what their odds are. Just came out yesterday, so I'll repeat it again.
Okay, cool.
For you. So fourth place is 210 plus 210. Third place plus 200. Then it jumps all the way to second place with plus 300 and first place plus 350. So how that means, plus 200, which is third place, that if you bet $100, you will win $200, and that would be a payout of $300. So, make up that difference. So,
Okay, so the Bears placing in first, that's you're talking about.
Yeah, that's plus 350. And also, what's up? What's up, B? Rand Davis, thank you. Appreciate it, man. I know you're not big into the Bear stuff, but we appreciate you coming in and dropping a like.
Yeah.
Right. Always appreciate it, dude. But yeah. So they're saying that the odd makers believe that the Bears have a better chance of finishing in last place for the third year in a row than they do of making a jump all the way to second or even first, which means you win the division. So they don't think, that's crazy.
I kind of see that happening because considering you have a rookie quarterback, and as far as my old fart butt goes, as far as I remember, either one or two things happen. We're gonna have a I can't remember the quarterback from Carolina, how he came out and did
Bryce Young.
Right. He did really bad. We're gonna have a Bryce Young experience or a CJ Stroud experience.
Yeah.
We never know. It's easy to say that like the odds favorite will be more Bryce Youngish, considering CJ Stroud, just because you have a whole new organization. Stroud went into organization versus Young was adapted into it. Okay, so
Not really, because you remember the year before that, it was a new coach. It's a new coach.
Mhm.
Tank Dell was a rookie. Just like Stroud. So I would compare it to more Stroud, if not a better situation than Stroud. You
Well,
know?
well, think about it. They had a new coach because he had a new coach, new
Yeah.
organization with the new coach. The coach was able to pick versus we have Eberflus who got caught up with Fields,
Yeah.
and then I guess they say, you know what, we'll just start from scratch. Let's shake wherever falls off the tree. Let's get rid of them. Whatever's in the tree still, we'll build on that.
Hmm.
And I think they're going off of that basis, if I'm not mistaken. I do believe that I'm not wouldn't be surprised not finish last. We'll finish maybe fourth or fifth in the league, dead
In
last.
at the bottom, fourth or fifth from the bottom. No
Yeah,
way. No
yeah.
way.
I,
That's
I mean,
crazy.
Kramer, we were Chicago fans, and we're also
It-
Cubby fans. So
where
we've been through this before. So I
yeah.
don't want to think and say, oh yeah, this is the year, la da 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 da, because last year
Yeah.
was the year until we met Green Bay week 1 and we got our asses handed, and
Yeah.
then it went downhill from there.
Hmm.
A huge
Yeah.
disappointment. So I just want to avoid the huge disappointment. I'd rather be like, okay, we're gonna be
On the
bottom
looking up.
5.
Uh,
Right, right. I'd rather
gotcha.
be in the bottom 5 expecting that aspect of it, and then we'll end up being the top 5.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Instead
Yeah.
of expecting being top 5, and next thing you know,
Yeah.
the vice
I don't know
versa.
top 5. That's some big numbers. I would be happy with just a winning record. So I'm saying like 9 or 10 wins. I think could get us. I would be happy with that. Getting to the playoffs, I think, is like a huge like, oh my god, like it's our Super Bowl in Chicago. Just getting into the playoffs, but I would say like it's not just us being homers because it is very much every year. Like ask Brian every year. He's like, we're winning 15 games. Yeah, I think last year, he thought we were going to win like 12 games. But there's situations that happen. O-line being the big one. But going into this year, a lot of analysts, a lot of sports announcers, on ESPN and across like Twitter and social media and stuff, they all believe in the Bears. They don't believe that they're going to win a Super Bowl. There's a few of them that believe that are crazy. I don't believe it, but they believe he's good. And on paper, he is the first number 1 overall quarterback in history to join a team with this like stacked, like defensive and offense. Like he got weapons, he's got running backs, he's got a decent line. We still have an issue with the center, for the most part, but he's coming into the situation better than any QB ever in history, and then just looking at what Stroud did last year, Stroud came into a questionable situation with a new regime, which I think worked out good for him. Came in with Tank Dell, much like Williams and Roma Dunze, like they're coming in together. So he has his young buddy, but he's also got Nico Collins over there. But here we have DJ Moore, right? But we also got some great tight ends, a good running back, like it's and 2 receivers. I keep forgetting about Keenan Allen, because he's so new.
Yeah.
And he gets mixed up into the bunch because you have DJ Moore and a great rookie receiver plus a great quarterback who has a lot of potential. And you're just like, oh yeah, you forgot you have this veteran of Keenan Allen and these great tight ends.
Right.
So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna get 4th. If they get 4th again, bro, the city might burn down. Like,
Well, I mean, first things first. I think in order to become solidified, like, okay, this is a serious team, we need to beat Green Bay both times. Splitting the year with Green Bay is not going to cut it anymore. It can't. So we need to beat Green Bay both times. Minnesota, I could possibly maybe a split. Detroit is going to be a tough one.
That's going to be
as well, because I believe Detroit got stronger.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as what's happening over there in Houston, I mean, don't forget they also picked up number 14. They used to be with Minnesota, and then he went to Buffalo, and now Stefan Diggs.
Diggs, yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean that's we're proud walking around Chicago thinking, hey, we got a hell of a trio. Yeah, so does Houston. I mean,
You're not.
now the only people I think you should be looking out for will be Kansas City because of the huge bullseye on our back. Now they're like, what are we gonna do? They really, I don't know who's the number one top guy there.
Mhm.
But as far as aspect goes, I think
Yeah,
I'll be happy if we finish second or third. If we finish third, I would like to finish third with sweeping Green Bay, and now I'll be happy with that. So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. And as far as the center goes, everybody keeps saying, "Oh, the center needs
Trying
help.
to-
We need help on the center." Yeah, I know you getting me this.
I'm-
What the hell?
I'm
Big
trying.
spot.
I'm trying to fix it. We had one that was good, and then now.
Well, yeah, put it with the split one, just us far apart, like that we can see the top ones.
Yeah.
The small ones. You in the corner, I'm in the corner.
There we go.
I feel like we're watching the Brady Bunch.
I know, right?
But either way,
There we go. So here's the schedule.
yeah, okay, cool.
We talked about it last week, me and Brian, but just looking at the division rivals, we don't see a division rival until week 11.
Yeah,
Week 11, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
So it is kind of worrisome because, like, what are we going to be by then? But I'm pretty confident that by that time, by week 11, we should have a pretty good grasp on who we are as a team. You know what I mean? We're more than half through the season, and then we're just going on this crazy division because it's like, from week 11, division, non-division, division, non-division, division. Like, out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games, 6 of them are division. That's crazy. I don't think I've ever seen something like that before, at least for us. So
a schedule like this is hard considering we need to preserve our players, injuries. The upside is you got players already going in motion by week 3 or 4, getting down, getting the rhythm, getting the timing, getting everything, all the wheels are greased and going. So hopefully by week 10 or 11, we're already gunning it. We're already going really good, and we're clicking. We're scoring 34, 41 points a game. It would be amazing. It'd be crazy amazing if we hit that mark. Honestly, compared to past few years, we're accustomed touchdown, 2 touchdowns, 250 yards max, 260, 70 yards max. I mean, we hit 300, we hit 350 a game. That is talking big numbers. As far as right, and the other spectrum of that is if week 11 down 18, if we're on an injured list, we're getting hurt. DJ's out, or Dunze, Allen's missing, or Swift. You never know. Injuries in the O line, Jenkins. You just never know. If you're gonna have injuries, let's make it from week 2 to 8. Let's get them out the way now, and then by week 9 or 9 to 10, that's when we start picking up the ball. Like last year, we finished strong. The last 7 games, we won 5 of them.
Yeah.
So maybe we can still keep up that mental tempo kind of thing and keep it going from there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like having a bye week this early. Week 7's a little early for me, but it's the bye week and then Washington, which should be a win. Washington's defense is pretty good, but that should be a win on paper. Arizona's going to be interesting, because we're going to see how that offense is performing by then. And then the Patriots, who are just a joke at this point. So that it should be a win going into this crazy, divisional end of season kind of, roundup that we have. So I'm hoping with the bye week, 2 pretty not hard teams, Arizona, we'll see, and then it's going into this division craziness. So like you said, if last year the 5 out of the last 7, so we lost 2. So here, you got another what did I say, 6 game? No, 8, right? 1, 2, 3,
Right.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8. So if we were like 6 and 8, and the only 2 that we lose are San Francisco and Seattle, which San Francisco probably, because San Francisco by then should, be going, God forbid CMC or Purdy gets hurt, because then their season's over,
Mhm.
But San Francisco is going to be good, and Seattle is going to be interesting. I think we should be Seattle, but it's going to be interesting with their former OC.
Offensive
Now,
coordinator.
now our guy.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how that works, because I'm sure that defense, like, oh, we know what you do. We know your playbook, kind of thing. So, but if we had to end the season like we had last year, I don't see us being last place, especially with the end of season being all division games. So I'm pretty confident we're not going to get last. I think Minnesota might get last just because they got some things to figure out, but I think it's going to be a battle for second between us and Green Bay, because I think Detroit is going to win the division. They're a solid team. They got a lot of momentum, a lot of fire behind them right now with that coach, especially. But I think Green Bay and Chicago for that second place, and possibly that might be for, because I think Brian said his prediction is week 18 against Green Bay, the winner of that game is the wild card. And I'm like, that would be insane. That would be such a huge game, for the league, really, just being such a big rivalry. Green Bay versus Chicago, winner gets into the playoffs kind of thing, or winner gets into the wild card. So that was his kind of call to it. So I can see that happening. I could see that happening
easily.
Easily
you can see that. Yeah, considering it's also, what is it, to be determined. So it could be Monday night game, Thursday night. So
yeah.
Considering it's after
Christmas,
New Year's.
Yeah.
I can see that. It's a Sunday night game. It's one of those.
What's the 5th? Well, the
winner moves on, and loser goes home, kind of thing.
January 5th is a Sunday, obviously. So I can see Sunday night. If it's like the game, like, oh crap, winner takes to the playoffs, like I can see the NFL be like, oh no, this is our Sunday night game. Like prime time, big shot, like, oh yeah, man. Oh yeah.
Right. Now what's interesting is week 2, because they're gonna face them in the Hall of Fame game. So week 2, that's gonna be an explosive showdown. If you consider, you got CJ versus Williams, and then you have their trio receivers versus our trio receivers, and then you got their defense versus ours. That's going to be interesting. I mean, I'm not going to see this year. I'm not going to say this year. I would possibly next year or 2 years from now. That's a possible Super Bowl game there. I mean, if you think about it, if things goes right, and Kansas City they keep running over people, crashing people with marijuana, whatever. That's really, I don't know if that's what they do in off season.
Yeah.
And then you have other teams out there that not looking to step up, besides Jacksonville. Really.
Yeah. And they have a big question mark on their back.
Jacksonville. Take that back. Let me check this a bit. Not Jacksonville. Lamar Jackson and Baltimore. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the AFC North is going to be a really scary division. But yeah, I mean, I see the Texans winning that division. Like I really do. Jacksonville, if he steps up, but I mean, but saying that, like week 2, they're gonna be good. They're gonna be healthy. They're gonna be fresh. Diggs is not gonna be angry yet, so he still might be a team player by then. That's my biggest issue is I don't know how Diggs is gonna be, because you have Collins and you have Tank Dell, who last year worked really, really well together, despite one getting injured, the other one getting injured. But when they played together, it was scary. Diggs likes to complain. I don't know. Be like he's that diva. When you think of a diva wide receiver, he's that diva. You know, where
Well,
like I'm not getting the ball enough.
well, yeah. I mean, so okay. There's two sides to every story, right? Just like earlier this year. Oh, Justin's the guy. Justin's the guy. Justin's awesome. He leads the locker room. And then after that, what happened like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago? Oh, reports coming out. Justin didn't know how. Justin
Yeah.
didn't do this. Justin was sucked. Okay, guys, whatever. Same thing with Diggs. If you are a top talented player, Kramer, you are a top talented Kramer, and, and you're on a mediocre, pretty good team that have the capability to beat Kansas City, one of your foes, and Baltimore, and you know you're the number one guy, but you're not getting the ball. Wouldn't you be upset to help the team? Like, hey, I'm open. Hey, I'm double coverage. So what? I'm better than this guy. I'm better than the safety. Throw it to me and I'll catch it. Is it a quarterback situation? Is it an offensive coordinator situation? I don't see it as a diva. I see it as a person who wants to win and he wants to be super competitive, that he wants to do almost anything to win, but they're not giving them that chance or an option. Wouldn't you
Yeah.
be upset if you were Diggs and like, hey, you know what? I'm the number one guy out here. I'm the number 2 or number 3 in the league. Give me the damn ball. Throw it to me. Give me that opportunity. I'll get it. I will get it.
Where did he end last year? So like, I know it was like a little off track, but Stephon Diggs was with the Bills, with Buffalo, you know, where
Right.
he was the dude, you know, he was the main guy, you know. He ended like the last couple seasons, you know, 160 targets, which is right around where he's been at, 107 receptions, which is right around where he's been at, a little bit on the lower end, but right there. 1183 yards, which is one of his lower seasons for sure. And 8 touchdowns, you know, so
Yeah, 8 touchdowns. I mean, I don't know if that's average or not, but wouldn't you
Yeah.
be upset like, hey, I could easily get another 3 or 4 in a game versus the division he's in versus the teams they're playing against? I mean, I'd be upset too, man.
I
I'd be
mean, but
upset.
the thing is, like, he's gonna go there, and I don't know if I don't know if he thinks he's gonna be the dude. You know what I mean? That's my problem. Is like, is he going to be? Does he think he's gonna be the guy?
Right.
You
I
know,
think he's gonna be more of
because
a decoy.
but then that really pisses him off, don't it?
Right. Oh yeah, because I mean defense will have to change it around. He's a decoy. Oh, there's Collins. Oh, there's Dell. There's Collins. There's Dell. Oh wait, now there's a one-on-one matchup with Diggs.
Mhm.
Guess what? Give it a Diggs.
Mhm.
Hey, look,
Yeah.
you got a dime package. Hey, look, you got a nickel package. What happens? Who's the running back? They're gonna run it up there. Barkley? No, not Barkley.
No.
Uh, it's a pretty decent guy. I can't remember his name,
Yeah. I don't know.
but yeah. So I mean, it's gonna be a tough team to match up every week.
Mhm.
You know,
I mean, it is for sure. You know, I'm not gonna like say here and say it's not, because that's gonna be a really great Joe Mixon, I think is you know, and Damian Pierce last year was really solid, but they got Joe Mixon
Mixon,
like this year too.
the same mixer from Cincinnati, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
You know, but
that's kind of.
I mean, yeah, he started this year, but last year it was Damian Pierce, who was good, man. He was really solid, you know.
Yeah.
So
So I mean,
yeah.
how old is Mixon? He's not that old. He's like what, 28? So he has another what, 3 years in him?
20, 27. By the time the league starts, he'll probably be 28.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's good. But now they got that 1-2 punch. Here we go. We got a question from Zion. Said, how do you guys feel about Williams? Think he'll be the hype and finish top 10, or will he fold and be like 14 to 16? Overall, that's a good question. I don't know if he's going to be top 10.
It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard being a top 10, considering once again, man, I've been a Bears fan since I could barely pee in a corner of my house. So in a way, it's it's crazy because I've always lived up to the hype. John Fox, he's the coach. Yes, we're still going to the Super. Yeah, no, that didn't happen. Dick Duran, and same thing with him. Wannstedt, okay, maybe. Lovie Smith, great job. We went there. Rex is our guy. What the hell are you talking about? So I don't know. I don't know. Because
but I mean Williams is a good quarterback. He's got potential, and I mean, like me and Brian, we also so what's up? Appreciate you being here, man.
What's up, man?
But like me and Brian, like we're Fields fans. We still want to see Fields do well in there, but and we're both like, whatever happens, and we're still gonna be Bears fans. But especially Brian never thought Williams was gonna be like a bust. Like Williams, I believe he said like Williams, his floor is Kyler Murray, and if that's your floor, that's insane, because Kyler Murray is a great quarterback, a really, really good quarterback. But if Brian thinks Williams that's the bottom, then he can be really, really good. Top 10
Maybe.
His rookie year would be interesting, because I think if he's top 10 his rookie year, that would make him, just ballparking numbers, but he would be probably the best quarterback in NFL or in Chicago Bears history. If he winds up top 10, he will be the best Bears quarterback ever. If you're at that level, roughly.
I think the best quarterback in Bears history is not that far fetched. Same thing with receivers, really.
We had some solid receivers, but yeah, it's not. I mean, he just has to throw 4,000 yards, and he becomes the best, quarterback in Bears history. Which you think is crazy, but
right. If he throws like 350, 325 a game, he's going to be on record. So I think top 10.
Who's it?
I would say
Eric
top
Kramer
15.
had the most passing. Eric Kramer, 1995, 3,838. So he's got to get 3,900 yards, and you're the best in Bears. Yeah.
So I see top 15 in the league. It'd probably be half. A stat like a Kirk Cousins stat, maybe.
Yeah, I can see him being above half for sure. But I'm looking at like Mahomes, Allen, Hurt, Jackson, Burrow is going to have a good season. I think Herbert might have a good season. I'm going to be interesting. I think Watson is bound to have a good season. How many is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? That's 7. If you say Lawrence steps it up, that's still 8. Like who else? Like I don't know what AR is yet. We got Jared Goff. What Brock Purdy, is he going to be a top 10? Like. I'm really curious.
I don't think Purdy will be a top 10. He's a top 10 because he has a great staff around him, great team around him.
Yeah. He was number 6 quarterback last year, I think, ranked. So
good for him. Good for him. But I mean, I don't know. I see Caleb would not go any lower than 12. No, any lower than 13. He'd be like 12-ish.
I can see him that 10 to 15 range. I can see.
Yeah, because I see Herbert not doing well.
Yeah, he's gonna have a big question. I mean, he has no weapons.
Right.
so but also
same with Mahomes, because he really doesn't have anybody there with. And then Allen, who does he have there? So a lot of the top teams in the AFC is really being stripped.
Yeah.
So it's basically CJ and Houston with Jackson and
Yes,
Baltimore,
yeah. Remember about
as far
CJ?
as that I know.
Yeah.
So
But
I
it's
think CJ Stroud. I mean,
oh yeah.
I think I put
He
a bet
might
on him.
end up top 10. I think CJ will for sure end up top 10. And he wasn't even on my list right now.
Yeah, I
where did
put
he end
him.
up at?
I picked Houston to go to the playoffs, to go to Super Bowl when
Yeah.
Diggs was signed on with Houston.
Yeah. So last year
traded.
Stroud ended number 11. I'm looking at sleeper. You know, I like their stats. They're pretty good stats. But he ended up as number 11 quarterback for ranked on sleeper.
Right.
So that's not bad for a rookie. You're just outside of the top 10. So he's definitely making that jump though to the top 10 this year.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, let's see. He said, I mean, he has the roster to be it, but I still think CJ being top 10 is more impressive. Yep. He has the tools. I just don't know how Williams will do with all the pressure. That's a big thing for any rookie.
Right.
Yeah. Damn, Bears really have not had an elite quarterback. Have they? Nope. If that's their record. They are the only team in NFL who has not had a 4,000 passer like a season. The only team in the NFL. Every other team has had a 4,000-yard passing season except for the Bears. Yeah. Eric Kramer 30 years ago, almost 30 years, 29 years ago is the most passing yards in the Bears, 38.
And what year was this, Kramer?
95.
Okay, 95. I believe he had Marty Booker. No.
In 95.
I can't remember. I remember there was. Wait, I want to say Curtis Conway, maybe. Marty Booker. The backfield, I think it was
Curtis
Tillman.
Conway, Jeff Ingram.
Jeff Ingram, but Ingram wasn't that much. Curtis Conway, and then they had another receiver. Or no. Yeah, maybe. I can't remember, but I know Tillman was in the backfield. Tillman was really deadly at that time.
Rashad Salam, then Tillman, like you said. You know, Michael Tipson, Primus, Nate Lewis, Jeff Ingram, Curtis Conway. You know,
So Conway and Booker. Booker had these massive hands, and Conway was a speedster.
Yeah.
So I mean, you have guys like I remember him being really, really good around that time.
Yeah.
And another duo was really good was Brandon Marshall with Cutler.
At one point. That was a solid squad. You know.
Yeah, there was.
I mean, but every time all those teams had one issue with just a shitty O line. You know, now I'm not saying we have a great O line, but it's pretty solid. It's solid, and the biggest issue is center. You know, but yeah. Hey, thank you, Brian, for liking the stream. But yeah, let's see. Said if Williams can be better than average, so if he can do 12 or 14, then he is a solid QB1 for fantasy with that roster. I think so. If you want to do fantasy, and what's his ADP right now? Let me see what
I don't know,
because I'm not sure.
Williams is a hot commodity. I'll take him.
Yeah.
However, the trick is you got to pick the right receiver. Don't get two of them. Maybe get two and bench one every week. But the receiver, you got Allen, DJ Moore, and Ndunze. So that's gonna be kind of dangerous.
He has a solid squad. Fantasy Pros,
I mean, if he's
really high.
If he's up there, maybe get him second round, late second.
Something like that. Right now, his overall on Fantasy Pros, his overall is 8th. He's the 8th highest quarterback for 2024 for this. His ADP is 96. So that's about 3rd, 4th round, something like that, depending on what league you got. So yeah, 12, 48. Yeah, probably just somewhere in the 4th round, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, but he's the 8th overall, and it's like in quotations easy. Yeah, like damn, you know, his best is 60 and his worst is 118. Again, fantasy pros. So, and I think because it's the people around him, yeah, so I'm okay with that. I mean, I'm okay with that as a Bears fan. It's a little high, especially on a rookie. But if you have some faith in him, I would be all right. There you go. Hey, there goes Brian. Brian says 1409 PPR 12.
Yeah, 14 round 9 pick for picking up Caleb
Williams. Yeah,
PPR 12.
Yeah. I mean, that's I mean, I wouldn't pick him up really early if his ADP is number 96. Like for the 14th round, that's right at the end. That's right. Yeah, standard league 14. Yeah. That's right at the end. That's where I would go because you would get somebody first. Caleb is a guy you pick up, and if he becomes something cool, then you can easily put him in and switch out and not have to worry or something like that. But he's not my first pick for sure as a fantasy player.
I wonder what rating they gave him in Madden.
I don't know yet.
Did they give him like the gold star, that like #1 all-star, like elite quarterback?
Not yet. So where's this? On playerprofile.com has him at 103. So but and it has him QB 11, which is so right out of it. Yeah, QB 8 was kind of high, I thought, but but we'll see how he ends. But yeah, I'll definitely wait towards the end of the draft. If you want to pick him up and root for him, and you kind of want a Bears guy, if you can pick him up towards the end, that might be a good steal for sure. Yeah, but yeah, here. So we're talking about Stroud, there's something I did want to bring up. So the other day, CJ Stroud dare to criticize the great Aaron Rodgers. So he said he'd rather have an Eli Manning career than a Rodgers.
Of course, I would too.
Yeah, but when you think about it, you're like, oh, Eli Manning beat Tom Brady twice. Yeah, twice, which is effing insane, man. So many people became rich that day for betting against a perfect season, and they lost to Eli Manning. Eli Manning ruined the perfect season.
I'm never gonna forget this, Cameron. I told you this. What did I say? If by halftime they're within within one score, they will beat them.
Yeah,
by halftime.
That was good. I should put money
10, 13, I think it was 10-13 on halftime. I'm like,
something like that.
Oh.
Yeah. So, as a Bears fan and a Rodgers hater for life, hearing CJ Stroud say something like that definitely puts a smile on my face because, everyone's like, oh, he's so great. I'm like, yeah, but he sucks in the playoffs. For whatever reason, Eli Manning just knows how to win in the playoffs. When he does ever get, there and goes deep into the playoffs, like somehow he goes to the Super Bowl and beats the greatest quarterback ever. But yeah, so I did appreciate that. I did see that. And some other news since I'm here. One thing Brian has been saying for a while, Yannick Ngakwe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Murder his name. That there's a lot of people saying like he would be more the cost efficient move for the Bears. When I read it, I kind of laughed because I'm like, Brian has been saying this for weeks, if not months at this point. He's like, we're gonna get him. we have to get him. It makes sense. He already knows the playbook. We can get him. We can afford him. Just bring him in and we can solidify. We can a year,
right.
maybe even get 2 if you really want to, or get it 1 year and then extend it later, something like that. But it makes sense. It makes sense. He fits the line. He already worked with the line so great last year after Sweat came in,
Yep.
So that makes sense. And I think that might happen sooner than later because some other news coming out of the Bears is fans are mad at Nate Davis. They're literally calling for him to be cut because he hasn't been to practice yet. He missed OTAs, which is not that big of a deal. Involuntary OTAs, a lot of people miss them. I mean, shit. I think I was talking to in the chat. Lamar Jackson missed out on almost $1 million because he didn't go to OTAs, which is for me, I know it's like for him, whatever, but still, it's like, man, dude, just wake up, go to work. You don't even have to do anything. Just sit on the bench, like, it's like, fuck, it's almost $1 million. It was like 750,000 is he missed out on for missing X amount of practices. So, it's like, fuck, bro.
Yeah, I mean, 750,000 to us is,
life changing. But for him, it's not even worth getting out of bed.
For him, it's like, okay, it's a year's worth of endorsements of whatever endorsements.
Yeah, but Nate Davis was there today. He practiced a little bit, which I think he needed to because he missed OTAs. He missed the first day. The second non-participant at practice for the first day, but we need him on the O-line for sure. But I'm also kind of, he missed some days because he had a death in the family, I believe, last year. But I mean, all over Twitter, especially today, all over Twitter was just like, cut him. I don't like him. Cut Davis. He's done. Somebody's like, he's a total loser, which is insane. Quit making excuses for the dude. Like, damn, dude. Yeah. They're saying he's the worst offseason acquisition since Chase Claypool.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I mean, he had like I said, he had the death in the family sometime last year, and he missed some games and stuff like that. But damn, the start of the season he missed because of the death of a family member. Yeah, so I think he'll be all right. I think he did have some. Sweat did some drills today too. Yeah. So, Sweat, he didn't it says he did not practice on Tuesday. Did he? He did some drills because I'm looking at Windy City Sports and they said he did not. Bears kept and Devon Smith out of practice Tuesday because he missed voluntary OTAs. They want to ramp him up before practice on Tuesday. Yeah, so they probably warmed him up. He didn't actually do practice. He just did some drills, like Brian said. So, yeah, which is missing OTA is whatever, especially from somebody like Sweat or even Davis. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's Chicago, man. You just say the wrong thing, do the wrong thing, don't do anything at all, and fans get mad at you. So
if Nate Davis comes out there and gets 4 sacks in the first 3 games, all this stuff.
Well, Nate Davis is the guard, right? Well, yeah, he's the O-line.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm sorry.
Hold on.
I'm sorry. I don't know what kind of.
I know we're switching between Sweat and D-line and O-line and stuff like that.
Right. But yeah, either way, I never really liked Davis. Remember we were talking about this because if he's the O-line, right?
Yeah.
Right. So remember I kept saying, "Oh, why don't we pick up the O-line later in the draft or whatever?" La la la. But Brian brought up a good point. What if you pick up an O-line in the draft, the left tackle in the draft, and yet he's not as good as Davis, or his his floor's top. I can't remember what was it, but he made a good solid point. I'm like, interesting, because they
Yeah.
paid all this money for him. We're not gonna do what the hell is that guy from the Bears, the kicker, Parkey? How we signed him, we gave him all this money for years, for 2-3 years. We cut him later that year or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, well, I don't think we're gonna do that again.
No, I don't see that happening. What Brian said, Nate Davis was known to be a non-practice in Tennessee. Oh, I didn't even know that. Yeah, and it's not that big of a yeah. Poles knew and still spent the money. Yeah, I mean, OTAs are like, I don't think they're that big of a deal. Minicamp, is where you kind of start to shake off the rust. It's it's nothing too crazy, I mean,
Right.
once we get into like full training camp, then that's what you want to start to see stuff, at least from some of these older guys. But that being said, I do have some things to look out for or to monitor for the mandatory mini camp that we're in. One obviously is Caleb Williams. It's the most important. You want to see him still build momentum. You still want to see him build relationships, timing. One thing that we've been talking about, was learning how to take snaps from under center. He hasn't done it too much, so we want to see him get really good with that and really practice that, like, just nonstop. And that's why we need a center who can snap, block, have good timing with Williams and stuff like that. So this backup that we got from Buffalo, we'll see. I mean, Poles thinks he's got something.
I have confidence in Poles. I really do. I mean, everybody can say, "Oh, he's a backup. He's a backup." Well, maybe because the first string is better than the backup, but the backup is a legit starter.
Just didn't get a chance
in other teams, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I kind of see that, and you know what? I keep hearing, "Oh, but watch, he's gonna be good." You never know.
I'm hoping
he's gonna be good.
I'm hoping. And like I agree with that. There's a lot of times like they're good, they don't get a chance. They just don't get a chance to show off that they're good. I mean, we were just talking about Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers was second string quarterback for 3-4 years, something like that. I forgot how many years, and was anybody saying, "Oh yeah, he's not that good of a quarterback"? Like, no, it's just you have somebody who is good and you ride with that until, for Brett Favre, his arm gets, falls off. So, so we'll see. I hope Poles kind of see something special in him. But he does have like a little soft spot for O-line guys, being an O-line guy himself. So we'll see how that goes. So definitely want to see Williams get better with the center. That's the big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is important though, because once you only have so many plays out there.
Yeah. And he's doing the 7-on-7 drills, and people were like, "Oh my god, he sucks." And it was like in the OTAs. I was like, listen, man, he's learning, but he was doing not great against first team guy, so it's like that's his first time actually throwing against NFL players, so it's OTAs. I'm sure he's kind of slowing things down in his head, and I'm not on him that crazy like other people are. Like last week, even 2 weeks ago, they were just losing their minds.
Yeah, because he had a bad practice. A bad couple of practices, but that's okay. It's all part of growing pains.
Exactly.
You want to do it now before we do it in the season.
Yeah, exactly. And it said offense was afraid to take Jalen Johnson. I can see that. Because he's the dude. Brian brought up a stat last week where he was just like, he had like, oh my god, what was it? It's like how many passes didn't go his way or something like that. It was like he's just like it was like the most shut down corner last year by a good margin. You know,
Yeah,
so
rightfully so.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times he got picks or he
Yeah.
just snapped the ball away.
yeah. And I think they threw the opposite side of him every time he was out there. Yeah, you don't want to, and that's also kind of good for JJ because teams are going to do that. They're like, oh shit, this guy JJ's on this guy. Well, we're going to go the other way. So
See what happens with
that's
Minnesota,
rough.
JJ versus JJ.
Ooh, that'd be good. It says Shelton and Bates is a true competition. Yeah, that the centers, right? The two centers.
Yeah.
That's gonna it's gonna be good, which is another thing on my things to look out for this year was the center rotation. So you're gonna have the center rotation, with Ryan Bates and Coleman Shelton. I think you're gonna see a lot of them get some reps in minicamp, and we're gonna find out who maybe. Because maybe I don't know. It's interesting because he needs to also be a good blocker, be a good snapper, and have good timing with your quarterback.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be interesting. Even for something like Philly, I'm really curious to see what's gonna happen to Philly because Hurts had to adjust how he stood, how he prepared for the ball come flying out of what's his the center, I can't think of his name.
Kelsey,
because he said he had to get in like a stance to get this ball because it would come flying at him. So now he's going to another center. That's going to change so much. Is the tush push even going to be a thing this year without Kelsey? Being having a different center and the way he snaps and the way he has timing with the quarterback, is something that takes time to build, and you definitely need to find out who works better with the O-line and with the center. Is it Bates or is it Shelton? But we're going to see them a lot, within this rotation in minicamp.
Well,
we're not going to get an answer, but I think we're going to see like what Brian said, a pretty good competition between them two.
Yeah. A well-deserved one too, because if Bates has something to prove, they should be number one, and Shelton's like, well, whatever, dude.
So we'll see how that goes with it, but healthy competition is usually pretty good because it's just going to push both of them to be better. So another one is Javon Dexter. You want to see him develop into something a little bit better, and again, we talked about it for the past couple of weeks. Brian has been saying it is like, is he going to be the guy? Is he going to be that 3 technique that the Bears need, where we don't have to worry about finding somebody long-term? Is this the guy that's going to be our long-term solution at that 3 technique? So definitely during minicamp, he's going to have a lot of eyeballs on him, because we need to solidify that D-line. We need to solidify that D-line with having that D-line shut down like how it was at the end of last season. It is a scary defense. And I think we were talking, was it last week or the week before, we were talking about the Bears defense, and the Bears defense could end up being one of the best defenses in the entire league.
I think it's going to be under the radar.
No,
it's going to be one of those.
Man.
Yeah,
no, under the radar. They are on the radar already. People are already looking out for them.
Okay, so you know how Cleveland Browns have these awesome stats on fewest touchdowns and whatever, blah, blah, blah. I think the Bears are going to be the Cleveland Browns-ish on that aspect of it, because it's going to be once again under the radar.
Run.
So I think it's going to be pretty hidden.
Yeah.
They're going to see the Bears. They're going to see the stats. They're going to see how good
Bears!
They are. Yeah. But they're going to see how good they are. But they're going to be a lot stronger and tougher than they originally expected.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, last year they ended up being a pretty good defense towards the end of the season after they got swept because they solidified the D line, which helped the offense in return. You know, it was like, you know, the offense wasn't gonna, like, you know, sit on the sideline a bunch, like, for too long because the defense couldn't, you know, like, stop them.
Right.
Getting that D line, because our DBs are great. Some of the best ones. Our linebackers are really scary, man. We have a great linebacker core, great secondary, and our D line is there. We're one person away from being a shutdown D line, you know. And
Yeah.
and if Dexter is the guy, and if he does it, you know, in his second year, kind of shows that he is this dude, then it's gonna be a scary defense, man. We said PPR, the ranking is 11, standard is 8 for defense. Yeah, if that the PPR, oh yeah, I guess that counts for defense. But yeah, for defense, if it's PPR is 11 and standard is 8, that's, you know, average is top 10. You know, so yeah, I think that's gonna be good. But Dexter is gonna be somebody we're gonna definitely watch. And another one is seeing our DBs and receivers. You know, seeing, because I guess, like I just said, we have great DBs, and now we also have a great wide receivers. So now, if both of them can make each other better, like these great receivers in practice can make the DBs better, you know, and vice versa. So you get a full strength, like, workout from your wide receivers and your DBs. Yeah. But it's, again, OTAs. You know, the offense wasn't at full strength. You know, Keenan Allen wasn't there. Rome Odunze had a hamstring injury, but yet he was thrown out the pitch. I think at Wrigley Field or something like that. So it was like, okay, okay, you know, so, you know, you know, it is. So having Caleb Williams, you know, quote unquote, struggle in OTAs, you know, it's not the end of the world for me, you know.
Right.
You know, because like I just said, Keenan Allen was there. You know, your buddy Rome Odunze missed the first week, you know, with hamstring. So, but watching these guys together, with the DBs and receivers practice together, it's gonna be, you know, because look, Allen, Odunze, DJ Moore, Tyler Scott, Swift, Komet, and Gerald Everett, against Edwards, Tremaine Edmonds, JJ Stevenson, Gordon, Jaquan Brisker, bro. Like, these, having those two guys or group of guys playing against each other, it's like that's the best way to practice. Is like,
Yeah.
have great DBs against great receivers. They're gonna make each other so much better in practice, and then it also benefits Caleb at the end too. You know, so
Yeah.
it's, you know, it's gonna be interesting. You know, then and seeing stuff like that is what makes me happy in practice. You know, it was like, oh, we have these great people all going against each other. You know,
Right.
so
Right.
yeah.
Because now if you go against a team, like any team on the list we're going against, okay, sure. If one guy is better than the other, but you have the other 2 or 3 guys are so weaker than he was going against the Bears, right? Okay, it's a piece of cake. It's a walk in the park. It's no longer a sprint. It's no longer a marathon. It's nice soft jog.
Yeah.
Because everything slows down. This guy's not as fast as him, so it's slower. It's calmer. It's easier.
Yeah.
And then that's the whole purpose of, you know, having these OTAs and mini camps. It's really important because you need that practice repetition. You need to calm your brain down. You need to read every single piece of grass in that field, because unlike you're gonna get busted really bad if you don't practice well. And that's great what they're doing, because I've heard that stories that they pick them off and they just like, you okay? We're just making you better. That's all it is. Now you know what we're capable of doing. We're just making you better.
Yeah.
And it's true. It's really
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
You know,
and
I mean, what
Mhm.
what was it? Brady? Whenever a guy got picked off, Brady paid that guy $100 for picking him off.
Oh, really? I didn't know. That's crazy.
Yeah, I believe, was it Brady? Yeah, it was
Could be.
Brady, I believe.
I can see Brady doing some shit like that.
Yeah, like, hey,
Yeah.
great job. Here's $100. Well, not there on the field, because
Yeah.
$100
Yeah.
would be like sweaty as shit and ball strap.
But yeah, I was like, pull out the jock strap.
You're like, no, you can keep it.
Just put IOU. Yeah.
Right,
But
exactly.
yeah, definitely, having a practice like that is gonna be good. And throwing against one of the best corners in the league right now, and in practice every single day. It's a good way to make your quarterback better. A good way to make your receivers better. So
Oh, yeah.
it's
I mean,
definitely it's gonna be good to watch.
didn't they have the formula in New York Jets with Sauce Gardner versus who's the other number one rookie receiver? They were like always went against each other in practice. They made each other better
Mm,
every practice.
yeah. Yeah.
And I believe they both won Rookie of the Year
Did they? Oh, so what, last year?
last year or 2 years ago. I can't remember when.
No, Sauce has been in the league for 2 years, I think now, right? So
Okay, I could be wrong.
yeah.
I could be wrong.
Yeah. And then we're coming up. We're past an hour. We'll end with this last question. Ron said, if Bears had Sweat week 1, would Bears make playoffs last year?
Great question.
Yeah. And real quick, Brian answered it. He said, I think they miss it barely 9-8 with Sweat from the beginning. Okay. And I don't mean to like go off of Brian. I kind of agree with that, but just because I think the beginning of the season for the O line was so bad. Yeah.
It's kind of hard to tell, man. There are some shitty games. There are some games that we easily could have won and we didn't.
Yeah.
So I mean, it doesn't even have to be Sweat. You'd be just piss poor play calling on the offensive side by Getsy. Not really much execution. It's just piss
Not
poor
wrong.
play calling.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it boils down to. My opinion.
Yeah.
What do I know? Shit.
Yeah.
I'm just a fat guy in a pink chair talking about bear stories.
Yeah. But yeah, if Sweat from week 1 would have been on the Bears, I think the defense would have been better, probably quicker for sure. But the offense, I think, still would have had some more struggles.
Yeah.
I want to kind of agree with Brian. I think they would barely miss it. I don't think they had the answer for the Packers last year. So I think you would, lose 2 to Packers even last year. Because that week one, you were like, oh, we're gonna kill them, and they and it was really it was a lot of the O line, with bad protection. The defense was obviously not the best. It maybe would have been a closer game, but I don't know. But I would say, yeah, they would get another like game or 2. So what were they, 8-9 last year?
Yeah.
So I can see 9-8, maybe 10-7. Well, 10-7, I think would make them better than Green Bay. I don't know. I mean, besides the 11 wins from Detroit last year, everyone else was like in the 8-9 win between the 3 of us. So yeah. But like I said, the Vegas odds, it has like Bears like getting 4th and maybe like 3rd, with plus 200, plus 210, which I was like, damn, really? And then the big jump to plus 300 just for 2nd place, So in Vegas, obviously doesn't have full faith behind the Bears winning the division or even getting second in the division.
Yeah, it's a tough division, man. This
Yeah.
year,
Oh,
the division's gonna be tough. I mean, the only question mark is Minnesota, really, because
yeah.
last year Jordan Love proved himself, right? Um, Minnesota, they're just changing QBs, and then you have who is it, Golf? So yeah,
Gotham.
it's really that's
Yeah.
why I can see us being last or third, but it's a huge jump because of Detroit and um, Green Bay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think we can at the very least get second. We can get second, and I'm man, like I'd rather see us clinch a wild card going into the last week, week 18 against Green Bay. But watching Green Bay Bears for wild card position, that'd be something, man. That'd be something awesome, especially for Caleb, his rookie year, man. He's already kind of big into the he was at a bar or something, chanting the Green Bay sucks song. So so always appreciate that. He's and then who was it? Sweat. I believe Sweat was like, "Oh, we cannot lose to Green Bay again this year." So we get these guys who kind of like, I don't know if they just understand the fan base or they understand the rivalry, but I think they know they're like, we can't do anything until we beat Green Bay consistently year and year again, so
Right.
yeah,
The road to winning the division is going through Green Bay.
for sure. And what's up, Anzo? Appreciate it. Appreciate you coming in, man. And then Ron said, F Green Bay.
FGB.
FGB.
I should get that tattooed on my
I was gonna
back.
say that should be a good shirt.
Yeah.
It'd be a good shirt. I like that.
It'd be a good shirt if it's all green with yellow lettering.
Just
Like that. It's like oxymoron. Like, playing mind.
Well, we have was it GSH on the sleeve? Just put FGB on it from now on.
Oh,
that would be great. That would be great.
You're on.
That would be great.
You're on.
That'd be great. Yeah. I think George would be all right with it, right? George
Hallis?
Like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I'm cool with that. Fuck Green Bay too. But cool. Yeah, we've been on for a little bit over an hour. We appreciate everyone coming in and checking us out. Ron, thank you, Brian, of course, in chat. Anzo and Brandon Davis, Zion coming in. So appreciate all you guys checking us out and coming in and saying hi. So but yeah, Minicamp is on its way. We're gonna keep talking about that and getting into, I see so many more Mongo posts. They got the mold for his bust made, so stuff like that. So I love seeing stuff like that. I think Garrett Payton is going to be announcing him on it, which would be awesome. So yeah, it's definitely going to be I wouldn't even mind doing a watch party. Well, I might be able to do a watch party. I won't be able to go because I know you're saying go to the game. I won't be able to go, but
I'm still working on it.
Which would be super cool, man. Yeah,
I'm mowing lawns. I'm doing the honeydew list. I'm doing everything right. I'm praying to Santa. I want to.
That's it. But for sure we'll if you go or not, I'll do a watch party or something just for that because I think that'd be cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah, but appreciate all you guys. Thank you guys so much. Check us out tomorrow on Dynasty Pylon, the main show. Martin, Mark, and Brian are going to be talking about a bunch of getting you ready for your dynasty leagues. The draft should be happening soon for a lot of these dynasty guys. So they're going to talk about that and a bunch of other like NFL news going around. Sunday, we're still getting ready for kickoff, so come join us Sunday morning. We'll probably do some mock drafts still and have some fun on Sunday mornings, and then Atlanta in the morning. Yep, and Dynasty Pylon, Martin is doing his breakdowns of each team. I think I have it. Where is it? I thought you put it in here, didn't you? There it is. He's doing his breakdowns for each team, so make sure you come and check that out. I think it's Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he's back on schedule. So tomorrow, the Falcons. So this is his schedule for all the teams. He's following the draft order. So he's going to be doing his predictions and thoughts on the team and stuff like that. So definitely check it out.
So why does Houston Texans look like a bull from the stock exchange? And what happened to the Denver Bronco logo? Why did he jump in?
I saw the Bronco too. I'm like, is that the full picture of the Bronco? I don't think I ever seen that before.
Is it because it's Pride Month and it's doing that? I don't know.
What's that to do? Is like with the arm?
Yeah,
I don't know, but I'm guessing that's the full picture, and same thing with the Texans. Yeah, but but I saw the Bronco. I'm like, what the? I'm like, oh yeah, hey, they just used the head. I didn't know the rest of the body, so that's kind of
right.
interesting.
I think that okay. Well, to each his own.
Yeah, but but yeah. So check out Martin. He's gonna be every all those days. Mostly every day doing that. So definitely a lot of stuff coming up for Dynasty Pylon. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're like 20 away before we hit 400. And at 400, giveaway time. So we'll do another giveaway jersey to the subscribers. So make sure you share the channel, hit that like button, go on Facebook and YouTube and share. We appreciate all that. But appreciate all you guys. Thank you, Fredo, Panda, for joining me tonight. But yeah. We'll see you guys. What does Brian say? Same Bears time, same Bears channel next week. See you guys later.
FGB.
Yeah. Shit. Where's the outro? I don't do this on this channel too.
That's now I'm like.
All right. Later.
All right. Bye.
We the Bears, monsters of the midway, knocking teams out every Sunday. Fire in our eyes, can't stop our drive. Hit so hard, remind you of 85. We the Bears, monsters of the midway, knocking teams out every Sunday. Fire in our eyes, can't stop our drive.